terms of us functioning.
Yeah. And I mean, I ran into, I believe it's Sonora from BHU, correct me if I'm wrong, and she said they're doing trauma-informed care, and I've got a textbook on it, and I don't quite get it or know what it is, but I think one thing we have to really process is that because we're human beings, we've all gone through trauma. And I could say my trauma is more than yours, or yours, or yours, but we are all humans suffering different things, losses of parents or deaths or friends that died in car accidents, drug problems, marital problems, relationship problems. And I think in a way, if we as human beings experience those traumas in a compassionate way, we're not going to be in that us and them situation. I think the financial inequalities within the COAB structure, like I said, oh yeah, make COAB a fair trade. I think every human being should have a living wage and somewhere to live and a right to work and health and safety. That's just what, I'm kind of Norwegian Swedish about that. So that what I mean to say though is I'm a strangulation victim. I was raped in 2002 in Nashville, Tennessee. When my screaming reflex kicked in, it just saved my life in 2016. But when my screaming reflex kicked in 2002, that became the signal for my rapist to start choking me. So I just happened to be on the floor on my knees where I was at that point, and I started to black out, started to die, started to see stars. And this recent neck breaking that I experienced from this police, I'm going to say police brutality victim, who I've just had a nice personal chat with Carl Klint, but Carl Klint up there had detained this young man. He displays symptoms of chronic traumatic encephalopathy. And I've asked Benedict Amala to come and talk about it, the famed neurologist, because I feel like brain injury training is going to help us deal with people like him, and I don't want to assign the blame maybe the way I did a few years ago, because now I am Ben's victim in a very severe and painful way as I speak to you. My neck, my trachea, everything's messed up. So just so you know, the whole protocol of, oh, we're in compliance, that's a lie. That is a whitewash. It's a misunderstanding, because when I, as this sort of like pro bono Good Samaritan, was trying to both fall in love with Ben and rescue him and be his paralegal and get him to court, I wasn't given victims assistance, I wasn't given proper legal aid, disability rights turned me down. I couldn't piece the resources together that I needed for his case. And his case may obsess me for the rest of my life. It was such a fascinating learning experience. But what I realized is that we can have this external dialogue that scratches the facade, but the deeper issue is that there are human beings suffering and people are not getting the support they need. And Strangulation Victims against Marshman has convened, and there are more than one strangulation victim against the appointment of someone who does such things.